India is aggressively expanding its power grid. Millions of solar panels are carpeting arid landscapes, all pointing toward a massive exit from fossil fuels. The ultimate goal is securing round-the-clock renewable electricity and eventually becoming a dominant global exporter of future fuels like green hydrogen. But manufacturing those specific future fuels out of wind and solar relies heavily on millions of liters of a completely different resource, water. That industrial requirement collides directly with geographic reality. Large portions of the country are currently facing severe, escalating water stress. For millions of citizens, securing enough water for daily survival requires hours of physical labor, drawing it by hand from depleting wells. How do you hydrate a growing population while simultaneously powering a highly water-intensive green revolution? To understand the tension, we must look at three competing sectors driving India's water trilemma. The first is the energy transition itself. Green hydrogen production relies on electrolysis. To extract 1 kilogram of hydrogen fuel, you must split 9 kilograms of ultra-pure water. Accounting for filtration losses, the actual volume of raw water pulled from local rivers or aquifers easily doubles. Beyond new technology, securing the current grid requires maintaining the bridge energies that offer stability. Nuclear power demands constant volumes of water flow to keep reactors safely cooled and generating steam. Hydropower acts as a massive physical battery, holding back millions of gallons of water to guarantee round-the-clock electricity when solar generation drops at night. Achieving a clean grid is not resource-free. It binds the nation's energy expansion directly to the drawdown of its water reserves. That energy expansion fights for the exact same water as the trilemma's second node, agriculture, which historically consumes the vast majority of India's supply. And the push for greener biofuels complicates this further. Increasing ethanol production requires growing highly water-intensive crops, pitting fuel goals against food security. The final competitor is the modernization machine, driving India's rapid industrial and technological boom. Manufacturing advanced hardware and cooling the enormous data centers required to process the artificial intelligence revolution demands astronomical volumes of water every single day. Geographically, the states absorbing the highest levels of solar radiation for green energy, places like Rajasthan and Gujarat, are simultaneously the most water-deprived. You cannot pull the lever to grow the tech sector or expand the green energy grid without directly taking that water from agricultural fields and local taps. Because of this trilemma, traditional energy policy planning is functionally useless unless it is tied to water sourcing. Surviving this bottleneck requires systemic solutions. First, coastal green hydrogen hubs will have to mandate and construct costly desalination plants to avoid draining local freshwater. Second, industrial manufacturing and data centers will need to implement massive closed-loop wastewater recycling systems. Right now, the immediate gaps in expanding urban and industrial zones are still being bridged by manually trucking water into areas where local systems run dry. But the most critical reform lies in the fields, upgrading up the national water budget for energy and tech. While the world looks to sunlight and wind to save the planet, for India, true long-term energy security is dictated by its water security.